Hello, everyone.
Hi, Yusuf.
Khalid, how are you? How are you? How is everything? How's work? How is life?
Yeah,
Tunde,
everything's
how are
fine.
you? Lukman, Musa,
Yeah, good afternoon, Yusuf.
how are you? Musa, it's been a while. How have you been?
Hi Yusuf, yeah, it's actually been a while. Exams and stuff, like everything just makes me put
Yeah,
myself into one corner and face on one, something like that.
yeah.
It has
How
not
did it
been
go?
easy.
How was your exam?
Yeah, it was fine. We are done and dusted for now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We are planning to, anyways, we are planning to have a calendar where we can schedule meetings with each and every one, and ask how they are faring, and with respect to their goals and what they are doing at the moment, just a chit chat really with some mentors and see their progression. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea, and we would start that very soon. So you guys can just pick dates that you'll be available for a chat with one of the mentors.
All right. That would be very good. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, but nice to hear from you again. Uh, I want to welcome our mentor, Mr. Adetayo. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for agreeing to host this session to present on public speaking, which is a very, very, very important topic that I myself is still learning around. So thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Dr. Yusuf. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Uh, to be honest, without further ado, I think we'll just start the session so we can always try to keep to time. So if you can just introduce yourself, and then I'll share the screen and you can start if that's okay.
Do you mean me or every other person?
Oh yeah, you. I'm saying if you can introduce yourself and talk about what the public speaking that you want to address today, and then you can start the presentation. So you introduce yourself to us again, and then we can start the presentation if that's okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Yusuf. Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know, maybe you're in the afternoon, morning, or night over there.
Yeah, it's same time now.
Good afternoon. We are in the afternoon here.
Okay.
Good
Good
afternoon, sir.
afternoon. Good afternoon, Ma. Good afternoon, Miss Nora. Good afternoon, King, Musa, Yusuf. I still have some of your names that written here during the Daytopia. It's good to have you here. My name, as said by Yusuf, is Adetayo Adebowale. I use the pen name Julius Bletty. Julius Bletty is from my third name, Julius. Bletty is the Bowale, and Tiwa is the Tayo. So it's not a girl's name, as many people say. I'm a motivational leader. I don't use the word speaker because I believe everybody can speak, not everybody can lead. I'm a poet and I'm a born tutor. which we called teacher as well. I'm not dark, like neither am I light. I am God's image. I have a diploma in banking and finance, a bachelor's degree in accounting. I'm a certified Cambridge IGCSE tutor. I teach IGCSE O-level economics and business studies. I currently work as an administrator in an international school in Lekki, and I also double as a tutor. My public speaking experience dated far back as 2000. I'm a young guy, I don't think I'm that old. I just started public speaking very early. So at Global Social Thinkers Institute, as you can see the screen, the shirt for Global Social Thinkers Institute for the past 10 years that we have been going around the Southwest to give a public speaking address or notes to secondary school students, entrepreneurs, teenagers on things beyond the walls of the classroom. So that is the brief introduction, not to go too further. Like my doctor will say, let's make it brief to keep to time. So that's the brief introduction. Thank you for having me.
Wow, thank you very much. Well detailed, and I can see you've been doing this thing for a very long time, and you have you've experienced everything really there is to experience on public speaking. Going through the
I actually
anxiety.
think actually I actually think this is the best intro I've ever heard on this on
I
this
know.
platform. Like the best I've ever heard.
So you've gone through everything, gone through the anxieties, all the phases in public speaking. So I'm really looking forward to this. Thank you very much for that introduction. And I'm guessing everyone, we all know you a bit better now. And you can start with the presentation. Thank you very much. Can everyone see
Thank you
my
so very much.
Can everyone see my screen? I'm sharing the screen right now.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
All right, perfect.
Thank you. Dr. Jimmy, we'll talk after the show. So let's get started. Now, today we want to talk about mastering the art of public speaking. When we talk about mastering the art of public speaking is something that is so vast and it takes years of practice before even a master will still learn one thing or the other. Like I've said, I've witnessed presentation, and it's just a rare privilege. I'll be the one talking today because I know so many public speakers here. I know of Nora, very, very good. Abdurrahman, Lukman, Abdul Khalid, Saliu, Azan, Azim, Abibulai. You're all wonderful speakers, and we learn day by day. So today we just want to do what you also do. It's just that I'm the one doing the mouthpiece, just being the one doing the mouthpiece. So let's start with the objective of this session. Why do we want to have this session? It's not something new. Everybody knows that session. So why do we want to have this session? Can somebody help us to read this objective on the screen? If there's no one, I will call names. I know your names, so I'll call names.
All right, I can help.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Right. Training will help review tools, tips, and techniques that will help you create magic in your next presentation and beyond.
Thank you, Lukman. This training has been read will help you to create magic. That's the word for me, because as a tutor in the modern 21st century of teaching, what our teaching should base on is how to create. For those of us that are public speakers or teachers, we know that creating is the highest level of taxonomy. We are not going into that today. So we want to create magic in our next presentation. Are you ready for this ride, guys? Should we set sail?
Yeah, we can.
All right. So can you think of a time when you attended a bad presentation? That kind of presentation that you cannot just wait for it to finish. How about a good one? What makes them powerfully good or powerfully bad? So this is time for talking. Everybody on the meeting or in the meeting should say one thing or the other, powerfully good or bad. Can you think of one presentation like that? Let me go. Sunday, your network is bad. Sorry about that. Can we have another person? Abdul Khalid?
Okay, it's a presentation that happened in school, more like a group work. So it was a bad one for me because the presenter was basically just looking at his script. He wasn't connecting with the audience. It was just him and his script. He wasn't looking at us. He was just looking at his script and he was just reading what was there. So for me, it was boring. I didn't find it nice.
Thank you so very much, Abdul Khalid. You have your reason why you said it's boring and you've pointed it out. I believe we are all listening. Lukman, can you please tell us your experience about presentation? Which one have you witnessed? Powerfully good or powerfully bad?
Yeah, I've witnessed several actually. The most common one is the fact that when you ask students to present, mostly in the class, you'll notice that they read their papers instead of try to engage the audience. But one that caught my attention, or let me say one that was boring, was like a pre-induction I attended yesterday, and they asked the students to introduce themselves. And while some people were introducing themselves, it was supposed to be a brief introduction, but they kept on, talking to the extent that they went out of the box, and I got bored, and I'm not even longer interested in listening to their introduction again. So it was supposed to be short actually, but they made it look like a story instead of an introduction of themselves.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. It's just like when Dr. Yusuf asked me to introduce myself, I should now take the next 10 minutes talking about all what's in my life. So terribly boring. All right, thank you.
Sorry, before
Lukman.
you go on, another one I witnessed, which I think many people also can fall into this pit, is when you're asked to present and you start using big terms that people cannot really connect with. Say, for instance, you are presenting on accounting and you're presenting to probably lay people. You might benefit from using simple terms, because there was one I went to. It was an accounting presentation, and the person actually lost me from the beginning because I couldn't even understand the basic thing they were talking about. That was because they kept on using some jargons that I didn't understand. So that's another way that a presentation that can be good could have also gone bad.
Wow, Dr. Jimmy, that's very, very interesting. You guys have said all my slides. That is why I said it's an interactive section. I'm just the anchor here. You are the one doing the talking. As a British educator, we push it to you. You do the talking, we just add to it. Thank you very much, Dr. Jimmy. Musa, can we hear your view, please?
Yeah, for me, I think Dr. Jimmy has actually said what I was about to say. Yeah, because
come on, does she read your mind? Come on.
Seriously, that was what I wanted to say. There is this session I attended, like one organization organized a session in my school, so it's all about SDGs. So there is this particular guy that came to present on, I think, something that has to do with health. So most of the things he was saying has to do with like all these medical terms and stuff like that. So it got to the stage that when I turned back, I think almost like 1/4 of the room, they are bored, people pressing phones and stuff like that, because this is something that we are not actually like, he's not even breaking it down. So people are like, those terms that you can't, some of them I can't even pronounce and stuff like that. So I think a bad presentation when someone like the speaker is not actually coming down to the level of the audience, or is saying something that like he's not carrying the audience along, or things like that.
Very good. Point noted. Point noted. Thank you very much. Nora. Nora.
Yes, sir. Okay, I think a lot has been said on the powerfully bad one, so I'll talk about the good one. A few years ago, there was this particular symposium at my time. There was this person that, she stole the whole place, like the whole attention. She did powerfully well. She could connect with every single person in that room, in that conference room. She was able to express herself. There was this confidence. I think that was where I began to pick interest. And I decided if this person can do it, I think I can do it. Because there was this aura she created. It was so powerful and strong that when it ended, people didn't even want it to end. So I think that's the best I've experienced. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Nora. I can see Tunde's comment, and I think maybe he's having issues with his sound. And he said, same here, about last 3 weeks, it was a presentation in class where myself and Nora was placed in different groups. Oh, you and Nora, okay, no comment. With our experience, the lecturer singled out myself and Nora for our well-delivered presentation. We smiled after the compliment. The rest of our teammates read news, as the lecturer called it. Even I did not enjoy it. Beautiful. Now, everyone has had his own fair share of experience, or experiences as the case might be, for either powerful presentation or good ones. And we have discussed it. Nice one. Now, do you think those bad presenters feel good about themselves? Are they even aware that they were bad presenters? And another question, were the good presenters just lucky? Can we have our opinion? Can we hear our opinion? Did you get my question?
Yes, I feel I'm not somebody that believes too much in luck. I believe the that people work for what they get, and it might not be a job that you did at that particular instance. It might be something that skills that you've been accumulating without you even knowing. So I feel a good presenter, it boils down to all the little bits of details, all the skills that we have accumulated, while doing different things that we do. So I don't believe in luck anyways.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Yeah.
Any other person?
Yeah, I was going to say that as well, that this thing requires, just like every other thing, requires a lot of practice, and people really practice and prepare for these presentations. I remember the conference that I had to present at with a colleague of mine, and we started practicing like 2 months before the conference. Almost every day, every evening we'll meet up and practice. So we're like, at some point we didn't even have to check the slides anymore. We just keep presenting, and at the end of the day, her name is Nafisa. She was the best presenter, but people didn't really see the hours that we put behind the scenes before the presentation. So why would you say that is luck when we actually put in the time and the effort, and we had to prepare 2 months before the conference, and we got really good at it. And I feel like people really prepare for these things and put a lot of effort in it. So yeah, for you to have a good presentation, you really need to put the effort in it.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Yusuf. There's a big point there. You said you prepare to a level that you are not checking your slides anymore. Guys, that word is very, very powerful. It's going to be part of what you're going to see here. You might have read so many things about public speaking, the do's and don'ts. Don't pocket your hands. Look at people's faces. Go online. You will see numerous things, thousands of tips on how to deliver a public speaking. But nothing beats better preparation, consistent preparation. Nothing beats it. You'll be surprised that to deliver a 2-minute speech, you might need to prepare for more than 2 weeks to deliver a 2-minute speech. I often advise that if you want to prepare a speech that is long, you have enough time. You can prepare a day or 2 days before the speech for a regular public speaker. But if it's just 2 minutes, prepare for many hours because it takes perfection. We want to check out this wonderful video. Most of us might have seen it's been a while, but I want you to watch this video in a very observing skill, being observant of what makes this presentation stand out. Are we ready, guys? If you are ready, say yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So let's have the video, please, Dr. Yusuf.
This is where I live. I live in Kenya at the south parts of the Nairobi National Park. Those are my dad cows at the back, and behind the cows, that's the Nairobi National Park. Nairobi National Park is not fenced in the south where I live, which means wild animals like zebras migrate out of the park freely. So predators like lions follow them, and this is what they do. They kill our livestock. This is one of the cows which was killed at night, and I just woke up in the morning and I found it dead, and I felt so bad because it was the only bull we had. My community, the Maasai, we believe that we came from heaven with all our animals and all the land for herding them, and that's why we value them so much. So I grew up hating lions so much. The Morans are the warriors who protect our community and the livestock, and they were so upset about this problem. So they killed the lions. It's one of the 6 lions which were killed in Nairobi. And I think this is why the Nairobi National Park lions are few. So a boy from 6 to 9 years old in my community is responsible for his dad's cows. And that's the same thing which happened to me. So I had to find a way of solving this problem. And the first idea I got was to use fire, because I thought lions were scared of fire. But I came to realize that that didn't really help, because it was even helping the lions to see through the cowshed. So I didn't give up. I continued. And the second idea I got was to use a scarecrow. I was trying to trick the lions that I was standing near the cowshed. But lions are very clever. They will come the first day and they see the scarecrow and they go back. But the second day, they'll come and they say, this thing is not moving here, it's always here. So it jumps in and kills the animals. So one night, I was walking around the cowshed with a torch. And that day, the lions didn't come. And I discovered that lions were afraid of a moving light. So I had an idea. Since I was a small boy, I used to work in my room for the whole day. And I even took apart my mom's new radio. And that day, she almost killed me, but I learned a lot about electronics. So I got an old car battery, an indicator box. It's a small device found in the motorcycle, and it helps motorists when they want to turn right or left. It blinks. And I got a switch where I can switch on the lights on and off. And that's a small torch from a broken flashlight. So I set up everything. As you can see, the solar panel charges the battery, and the battery supplies the power to the small indicator box. I call it a transformer. And the indicator box makes the lights to flash. And as you can see, the bulbs face outside because that's where the lions come from. And that's how it looks to lions when they come at night. The lights flash and trick lions that I was walking around the cow shed, but I was sleeping in my bed. Thanks. So I set it up in my home 2 years ago, and since then, we have never experienced any problem with the lions. And my neighboring homes heard about this idea. One of them was this grandmother. She had a lot of animals being killed by lions. And she asked me if I can put the lights for her, and I said, yes. So I put the lights. You can see at the back, those are the lion lights. Since now, I've set up 7 bombers around my community, and they're really working. And my idea is also being used now in all over Kenya for scaring other predators like hyenas, leopards, and also it's also being used to scare elephants away from people's farms. Because of this invention, I was lucky to get a scholarship in one of the best schools in Kenya, Brookhouse International School, and I'm really excited about this. My new school now is coming in and helping by fundraising and creating an awareness. I even took back my friends to my community, and we're installing the lights to the homes which don't have, and I'm teaching them how to put them. So 1 year ago, I was just a boy in the savannah grassland, herding my father's cows, and I used to see planes flying over, and I told myself that one day I'll be there inside. So, and here I am today. I got a chance to come by plane for my first time for TED. So my big dream is to become an aircraft engineer and pilot when I grow up. I used to hate lions, but now because my invention is saving my father's cows and the lions, we're able to stay with the lions without any conflict. Ashole, it means in my language. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Yusuf. Thank you so very much. I believe we are all picked one point or the other from that video. Can we please share what makes this speech powerful? Not this, don't let me give you anything. What makes this speech powerful? Let's go, guys.
Okay, for me, I would say the originality. Like the story was real, and he was able to tell the story in an original form that was able to captivate the mind of the audience.
Please put that down. That's one of the two you need to make powerful masterclass presentation. You've just pointed it out yourself. Another person, please.
Okay, for me, I feel he was able to carry everyone along, particularly the slides were real, like let's say original, just like Lukman said. And at some point, he said some things that made everyone laugh. It's just a show, trying to show how to carry everyone
that
along.
Means he used a bit of humor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Gestures and all. Please put that down. You're already making your own speech great. Another person, please. I'm looking out for something. Has Nora gone?
I'm still here.
I wonder maybe you are. Okay, don't worry, never mind.
Okay, I picked 2 things from there. I looked at the innocence and the confidence.
That's beautiful. The innocence and the confidence. Okay, thank you very much. Any other person? Okay, in the absence of...
Okay, I just wanted to say something. I like the fact that the guy used the graphical method whereby he story wasn't just said, he painted a graphical story in our head. So apart from listening to him, you can view it in your head. You can actually see the picture in your head, like follow the story. So I like stories that have a graphical details to them.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jimmy, which means his slides were not just filled up with words, like so many lecturers do. Their slides will be so filled up with words, no graphic, no visual, no audio-visual thing. This doesn't make a slide, a presentation beautiful. Am I making sense? Have I condemned anybody?
I was going to add something
No,
to
sir.
what Dr. Jumi said. Can you hear me?
Please do. Please do.
Yeah, you are very right. And what I liked as well as what everyone has said, the confidence, the storytelling, graphics, is the fact that it was very structured. It started from the problem. It started from this problem. The problem was with, the lions coming to kill the livestock. It went into the solution that they brought up, which was, killing the lions, the result of that problem, which was, them eating lions. And then it moved on and on from that story until the final solution, which really helped them. And he now talked about what that situation was for him and how it impacted him in his personal life and what he has achieved as a result of his invention, which is really great to see. Sometimes people tell stories in a way that you get lost in it, or they don't structure it properly, but I think he really did a great job structuring it properly.
Wow. Wow, I think we have learned all the points we need to learn, right, guys? Are we noting down things that make presentation awesome? Are we noting them down? Can you see the structured presentation?
Yeah.
Very important key. So please, don't accept me that I will start giving you bullet points. Please note down. Thank you.
And like Dewale has said, I like the fact that he highlighted on the fact that it's okay to fail. There is in every process there is failure. There's a part whereby you are going to fail to actually succeed. So in most presentations, you see people tell you about how they got to the final stage without them really telling you the process of failure, what they did while they were failing, how they never gave up, and how they keep moving on. So it actually made his journey, the presentation journey, very interestable and relatable also, because while hearing him talk, you can actually see yourself also, probably whatever project you are doing, and you see yourself when you are failing. And it gave you this kind of hope that if you keep doing it, you're going to actually get there. So it's very engaging.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. With what we have heard, with what we have all shared, can you now give yourself a definition of what public speaking means to you? Can you just type that in the chat column while we move on? He was also able to summarize it beautifully. That's Lukman. Thank you so much. Can you just, with what you've heard now, with what we have been sharing since, what is public speaking? What does it mean to you? Can you please share that in the chat column before we move on to the next slide? What does it mean to you? Dr. Yusuf, please skip slide 5. I'm coming back to that while we move to slide 6. Thank you very much. So I'm waiting for your own definition of what public speaking means to say. Have you ever gone on skydiving? Nigerians. Okay. How many of us have gone on skydiving? Ordinary pool self, they can't push some people inside. But is there anyone? Anyone? Silence means no one. Okay. So
I've done the in-house skydiving, the artificial one. And that one, I almost died. I'm definitely not trying it.
Okay. If the artificial one can make you want to poo in your pants, I'm very sure you did not. You did not poo in your pants. Imagine how the real one would be like. And let's even leave skydiving. How many of us can remember our first experience with what else? Cinema? What what's this called? What eludes me? This camera they place on your face in cinema that you use to watch movies, HD or 3D or 4D camera that you use in watching cinema. How many of us have had the experience? And it will be like the car is coming to us and we try to move away in the cinema. Have we had such experience?
Yes, I have. I have.
Aha. Now, that is what public speaking is for some people. Many shy away from public speaking, especially natural introverts. Giving presentation is always hard for them. Why? That is why we need to master public speaking. Now, can I check the definition of your own public speaking quickly? Lukman said, public speaking is the art of communicating ideas and opinions in a convincing manner. Beautiful. So only Lukman is a good student here. Okay, no Allah. I'm not angry. Before we go to why public speaking, can we just share what is the meaning of public speaking? Slide 5, please. Thank you, Doc. Ability to connect and carry people along in a structured manner. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, slide 5. It says, what is public speaking? My own definition. Public speaking is the process of speaking to a group of people in a structured, just like Lukman has said, deliberate. Okay, Musa finally came through. Okay, thank you. Deliberate manner intended to inform, influence, or entertain the listeners. Now, you can be informed, be entertained, and be influenced in a public speaking. Very, very key. You can also present your ideas in a passive and honest manner. That is what public speaking is all about. Now, if you check the antecedents of former US presidents, after leaving office, most of them use their fame, their oratory prowess in business by going into public speaking. That is left for you to research on. You can quote me or unquote me. Why do we need public speaking? Why are we having this training? Why do we need to know about public speaking? Now, I want to ask you, why do you find this topic interesting and why are you listening to me? Why?
Okay, for me personally, I find it interesting because in every aspect of my life, or let me say at every point in my life, public speaking is very relevant because let's say as a finance student, I will have to, understand the skills of public speaking to be able to communicate financial information or
so that you won't be
communicate
like that. So that you won't be like that, Mr. Dr. Jumoke's presentation that was taking all the guidance, right?
No,
You
not
can
yeah,
go.
exactly.
You can go.
Exactly. So as to be able to communicate effectively with the audience, and even as a class rep, I usually communicate a lot in class, and all of these skills are very relevant, for me, basically in every life, ideas and opinions in such a way that people will want to listen and they will want to, give you a listening. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Please remember, as the class rep, all the other money that is coming out from textbooks and all those things, please remember after the talk, I will send my candidate so that you can forward it to it. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So we move on. Does anyone else have the reason why you need to master your public speaking?
Okay.
For me,
okay.
Everybody wants to talk. That's nice. Ladies first.
Right.
Okay. For me, as a sociologist, I don't just need to understand humans alone and the interaction related. I also need to be able to influence them rightly and correctly.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Nora. Okay. Any other person?
Yes. For me, right? I realized that public speaking, it's something you can't run away from as a young chap growing. Wherever you are, you would always definitely need to talk. You need to pass information, and you have to pass it in a manner that your audience or your target understand it effectively, the way they should understand it. Because at times you might give a whole talk, but the points you want to make, you're not able to pass it effectively. So I feel it's better you learn it now, get used to it, and when the time comes, it's not a problem for you. That's why I find this very interesting and important.
Thank you so much, Abdul Khalid. Any other person? Why must you
Yeah.
polish your public speaking? Musa?
Okay, for me as well, I think looking at it from the perspective of because I study like day by day, they do give emphasis on okay, we need to build our public speaking ability because we are being trained to become a diplomat, and as a diplomat, you are not just representing yourself out there, you are representing your country. So your ability to speak in a concise and a persuasive manner like is a plus just for the like whatever you say can either make or mar the image of your country. So I think this is very, very essential for someone like me wanting to one day be a representative of my country out there. So I think this is very, very essential, apart from its usefulness in our day-to-day activities when it comes to professional life as well. It is very, very essential.
Thank you so very much. Persuasive skill, one of the most in-demand skills right now. Persuasive skill, human science has evolved. Thank you so very much. Any other person before I move on? We have any other person who wants to share? All right. In the absence of that, we all need to master our public speaking, and nobody knows it all. That is why I said you'll be the one doing the talking. I will just be topping it up. So we master it daily because we relate with people. No matter how long we stay on our computer, no matter how long we have work to do, one way or the other, we relate with people. So we must master it. And not until you have a microphone standing before you that you say you are having a public speaking. In your organization as a manager, you have a role to be persuasive. It is important in an organization because one of the manager's role is to motivate employers. If your employees or your employers are not motivated, it's a big problem. Your employees, as a manager, you have employees. If they need to stay motivated, it's not only by money. We have had people that have left their job that they're well paid for a job that they are not well paid. Why? Because they are not motivated. So it is by speech that you can motivate people. Imagine Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. What keeps them motivated? Is it money? Can somebody answer that question?
No.
Uh-huh. Everybody knows it's no. Because talking about money, they have it all. But daily, you still see them sweat it out on the field because they are motivated, either by words of their coach, their manager, their psychologist, or one way or the other. But do you know that the faces of public speaking has changed over the last 2 years since COVID-19 struck? It has. So the lockdown has changed the modus, or what we call the modus operandi of public speaking. How do you now get by with it? During the time of then, you can just go for your public speaking, you shake hands, you meet your audience, you get used to the environment as the case might be. During lockdown now, how can you change the mode of public speaking, which leads to our next slide. Now that you're speaking online, you need to fix your computer errors, check all your gadgets. Now, from the Daytopia presentation that you guys had some weeks or months ago, I'm very sure you rehearsed. Can you tell me some of the challenges you have with your gadgets and how you overcame them before your presentation? Can you please share? Please, the slide should be in the next slide now, Dr. Yusuf. Can you please share? How did you overcome some of the challenges you have with your accessories, your gadgets, before your last presentations?
Okay. Let me share this experience, although it's a very short experience. Basically, the room that we stay, the network is not so strong. Like if we are to use Zoom in our room, then our voice will be cracking almost, let's say, 1 minute or 2 minute interval. But we're able to overcome that, by changing location. Like we had to leave our room and we'll go to a class that we believe that we'll be able to have the Zoom meeting effectively. And even though sometimes the classes are locked, we have to sit outside, and still try to move away from where people make noise or where people pass, just to ensure that we're able to still deliver our presentation easily, effectively. Although it was not conducive because sometimes the breeze, sometimes people walk by and they make noise, they shout, we'll have to move from this side to this other location. But we're still able to maintain that composure, and we're still able to deliver to some certain extent.
You have your point, a very valuable point, and you have just mastered public speaking online. If you don't know, now you know. You eliminate distractions. You dress properly. Now I'm going to turn on my camera because many people believe that when they're speaking online, they can dress, some people can even wear singlets or boxers. Some will wear shirts with their tie and leave their boxers on. And by paraventure, they've forgotten that their camera is on, and they stand up. So for public speaking, preparation towards that, during this lockdown, you need to dress well. I need to turn on my video. Don't mind my ugly face, okay? Don't mind my ugly face. So this is the point where I turn on my video. Thank you for having me. This is the face behind the much talk. All right. So you dress appropriately for your presentation. You need to be happy. Yes, be happy. I'm surprised that when I tell people that people hear your mood, they say that's not possible. Is there somebody who believes that here?
Yes, I do. I'm on this on Nora's presentation, her last presentation. We could tell from her last presentation that she wasn't as vibrant as she used to be. So yes, your mood can be heard from your sound.
Very, very, very true. Any other person want to add something? Thank you. So you need to be happy. Even though you're speaking online, you need to show happiness. Because if you don't show your happiness, definitely it will reflect in you. You can change the video, you can change anything that you feel like on your screen. Thank God for that. Thank God for technology. So you need to show your face once in a while for people to understand and read your mood when speaking, all right? So sitting is great, but standing is even better. I love standing when I'm speaking, and that is why you see me standing. Did you see me standing? Can you see me standing? Can you see me standing?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So I love standing when I speak because it gives my voice that projection that I really wanted. But there's no rule to that. You've read a lot of rules. Don't do this, don't do that. Look at people's on the edge. Look at this, look at that. Pay attention to those that give you attention. You know all those rules. So I don't need to bore you with all those tips. So I stand when I talk. It's not a rule. You can also try to use your visuals to get better practice. Dr. Yusuf, did I disturb you this morning on how to test all these gadgets this morning? Yes or yes?
Yeah, we took some time to test everything. Yeah.
We need to test all these things because public speaking is very important. Once you lose some essence, some points, some little things, it can disrupt your total presentation. Thank you so much. You can screen record yourself, play to yourself for you to know if you are really ready of a great speech. You have been saying, I didn't give him an option. I deliberately did that. So don't worry, never mind. It's part of the trick. 5 elements of a speech. I will need to turn off my camera now. Thank you for seeing my ugly face. Thank you. All right. So 5 elements of great speech. Who is saying what? Who hasn't spoken? Lamillion, you are welcome. Lamillion, you're welcome to the show. Are you there? Okay.
Hello.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Please, can you please read what we have on our screen?
5 elements of a speech. Who is saying to using what medium with what effects?
Thank you very much. What does that mean to you, sir?
Who's saying what to what? Okay, so basically you're just saying who is saying something to someone, and what medium is the person using to speak to this person, and to what if.
You are a very, very smart learner. You are the types in the class when teachers ask that, what is transportation? And they will tell the teacher that transportation is transporting the, those type of, clap for yourself. You've done a good job. Any other person, please? Thank you very much. Thank you, Lamillion. Thank you very much. Any other person who can buttress on this? Very smart man. Look, man.
Let me try.
Very smart man.
Okay.
Thank you very much for trying.
Who is saying, like when you say who, meaning the person giving the talk, right? Who is saying what? When you say what message are you passing? Like the message you're passing. And when you say whom, the audience, right? The medium, are you using Zoom? Are you using, is it virtual? Is it physical? And with what effects? I can't think of anything regarding with what effects now. Yeah, that was it.
Thank you so very much. The success of your presentation will be judged not by the knowledge you send, but by what the listener receives. I go again. The success of presentation will be judged not by the knowledge you send, but by what the listener receives. That is to say, who is saying, I have introduced myself? What am I saying in the topic? There must be a topic. This public speaking is not a one-day thing. To talk about topic alone, you can take 3 to 4 sessions to discuss that. To whom? Who are my audience? I need to identify my audience. Thank God that I've been able to meet 1 or 2 of you online. I've been able to do that. What about if I've not? I still need to know you. What medium we are using online, Zoom? With what effect? I've used different gesticulation. I've used brainstorming. I've used mind mapping. I've used inquiry. I've used different things you might not know, but I've achieved my results with that. All these are very important when you are making your speech. Presentation, there are things you should do. I don't want to bore you with this, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. But I have few that I need to share with you so that you can master your public speaking. Before you will present in any audience, you must have years of reading. And your years of reading can be your qualification, what you have learned in school or whatsoever. You can see our manager or projector did not change. Now, what if I did not know my slide? I'm on my own. You see, that's what we are saying, mastering the power of public speaking. Years of reading is very important. Does anybody knows why? Can anybody tell me why? before you present, your years of reading, consistent reading and studying is very important. Do you know why that is very important?
For me, I think it will help you, it will make you familiar with what you're presenting, to make you familiar with the content. Let's assume you are making use of the slides, just like what's happening now. If you're not familiar with what you're to present and Sir Yusuf didn't change the slide, you probably hook or you stop somewhere.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Any other person?
Yeah, I believe years of reading makes you a master of that field itself. Say, for instance, now, if you are doing like a PhD, for instance, and you spend 4 years studying a particular field, you become a master of the literature. You know everything that is available in that field. So it makes you a master of that field.
Thank you so very much. Any other person?
I also think that there are other people who has done research on that particular topic that you'll be talking about. So that way it can give you more insight.
Very good. Very, very good. You have all spoken well. But can I ask a question, guys? Can you be a speaker on every topic? Nobody's answering me.
I've seen people do it, but I don't know how they're able to do it.
Okay. That's your own view. Any other person?
I think no, you can't.
Okay. Any other person?
Yeah, I think it's possible. Like, it depends on the time frame you're given prior to the talk.
Okay. Okay. Any other view? Any other view? Okay. In the absence of a view or any other view, I won't give a yes answer and I won't give a no answer. It depends. The time frame is very important, very, very important. But you can only talk about what you know from the art. Now, there are certain things in which mediocrity is not to be endured. There are certain things in life that mediocrity cannot be endured. Things like poetry, music, painting, and public speaking. You cannot come out in the midst of people to tell them things you know virtually nothing about. You have no story about it, you have no past about it, you have no experience about it, and you're telling people, how do you want people to believe? You know, in Yoruba, they will tell you that if you are having a headache and you want to give somebody drugs, they will say that, okay, have you used that drug before? That's what the person will ask you. Have you used that drug? You said you didn't get the question. I'm sorry about that. The question is that, can you speak on every topic? Can you be a speaker on every topic? So it is possible, but it is difficult. It is difficult, and difficulty is what some people thrive on. So it's up to you to decide what you want to do. But for great speakers that I've known, they carve a niche for themselves. Some of them will speak on leadership, some will speak on education, some will speak on patriotism. Find what is best for you, and it is fine. No judging. The next one, can somebody help me read my number 2 points? Somebody help me read my number 2. Can you hear me?
All right.
If you have, okay.
If you have your presentation for 2 minutes, prepare more than you prepare for 2 hours presentation.
I think that is self-explanatory. I've made mention of that at the beginning, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So get your voice to be at its best. I said, you get why, you know. I need to turn on my video. Let me do that mouth for that. It gets why. It gets why. Thank you very much. So it gets why. Who can tell me why your voice must be at its best?
Because you want to be very audible.
Thank you. Any other thing?
Yeah, also your tone. Depending on what you're communicating, you have to use the right tone.
Thank you very much. I am a person that I use my voice almost every day. I teach, I MC, I do presentations, I manage staff, I control staff, I do this, I do that by the special grace of God. If my voice is not nice, if my voice is not nice, it will give me a bit of challenge. It gives me a bit of challenge for me to be able to do something. Do you understand? So it means you need to get your voice at your best before any presentation. Can somebody run through the next three? And we just leave that. We have talked about it, just run through. Okay.
Get your voice to be at its best. Get why?
Okay.
Master the understanding of how to use language and organize thoughts to convey messages to large audiences. Be at the venue early, walk around and get used to the environment and gadgets. Know your slide well. Projector has stopped working at one of my presentation. Prepare, practice, and perform. Anticipate likely questions.
Now, with what you have said, you can see that it's very important to be at the venue early for your presentation, whether online or physical. Now, I was the first person that came into the meeting. You need to clap for me. Please, everybody clap for me. Thank you very much. For those that did not clap, thank you very much. All right. So you need to be there very early. I've walked around this room today. You can see me walking around, seeing everybody coming in. I've done that. And I've tested my gadgets as it should be with Dr. Yusuf. I know my slides so well. I'm not proud. I'm not proud. I'm not proud because that was a personal experience. I've once been in a presentation before and the projector stopped working. Is the devil, right? The devil is not at work. They are machines. It's not the devil. So you need to know your slides so well. You prepare, you practice, you perform, and you anticipate the likely questions that your audience might ask you. And that is why you don't put all things on your slide so that when they ask questions, you have something to fall back on. Thank you so very much. During your presentations, what are the things you do? We have all said this. We just need to run through. Can somebody help me out? You know, I can't read that much. I don't like words. Hello? Who will help me this time around? I will call names. Is it not me?
What did you say? Sorry, please.
During your presentation, what are the things you're likely to do? I have some things on my slide here. Can somebody help?
Hasn't changed.
Oh, you see? I've moved to during your presentation. I've left before
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Yusuf.
Ensure you gain attention in your introduction.
Can anyone remind me how I gained his or her attention at the beginning of this presentation? How did I gain your attention, Nora?
Okay.
Oh, I did not gain it. If I didn't gain it, just
you did. No, you did, and that was by calling my name.
Okay, thank you. Attention, I will call everybody's name one after the other. Dr. Yusuf, how did I gain your attention this?
For me, it was the introduction. The way you introduced yourself made me feel very confident that you are the perfect person for this presentation. So I was very, very, I was looking forward to the presentation because you mentioned how you started public speaking from a very young age. So I just felt like, okay, who is in a better situation or position to teach me more about public speaking if not you? So you gained my trust and attention with your introduction.
Thank you so very much, my wonderful doctor. I'm still a small boy, I'm still learning. Lamillion, how did I get in your attention? I can see you're already unmuted.
By calling my name while I was trying to chew my food, though.
This man will like food. And I caught you unaware, right?
Yes.
Thank you so very much. Dr. Jimmy, Miss Valentine. Nobody knows that name.
I think it was your approach. I took a course in project management and leadership. It's a diploma course, and we took a class in public speaking. Usually, public speaking classes are always very boring, long, and at the end of the day, you don't even take anything out of it because it's just like it sounds like a cliche, but you had a different approach to it. There was humor, there was everything to it, so it kind of got my attention.
Thank you so very much. Lukman Yusuf, how did I gain your attention? Please put down all these things. I won't point these points that. This is how you do your public speaking. I won't do that. From what we have been saying and how I have presented you should be able to gather how to master your public speaking. Lukman, please go ahead. How did I gain your attention at the beginning of the speech?
Yeah, for me, you gained my attention in two ways. First was after giving your introduction, you acknowledged the fact that there are other good presenters here, and my name was mentioned among the list of good presenters. And also, the fact that you asked us the question, wanting to hear our opinion, it seems like you carried us along at the start, and that made us want to, hear what you want to say and, feel among and, just be in the presentation.
Thank you so very much. Musa, your own view.
For me, you actually got my attention in two ways. The first one is I think by mentioning my name, although like I joined the meeting, I didn't even know I joined until when you mentioned my name, I was like, wow, oh. So, and again, like the choice of words you use, the presentation is very, very engaging, and it's not like the conventional presentations that when we attend and it's only the speaker that will be talking and talking and talking. This is something that almost everyone is involved and stuff like that. So one is your engagement, and secondly, the way you started it. Your introduction is very, very captivating.
Thank you so very much. I believe you are noting down things. Miss Nora.
Yes, sir.
How did I gain your attention?
Okay, I already spoke before, but then.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Who have I not? Madam Sarah joined through the back door. So she might not be able to answer this question. So she will join us later. You understand, guys? Let's move on. Now, you can achieve this through many things, through humor, quotation, questions, songs. I've heard Barack Obama start his speech with song. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. He started that. Everybody sang along, and the speech was beautiful. One of the best speakers of all time. Learn appropriate body language if it is physical, even if it's online. Let your gesticulations, your facial expression do the talking. Do not rush through your presentation. I'm still guilty of this most times. I'm still trying. Most times my mouth goes too fast than my heart, But God help me, God help me. Remember, you can speak well if your tongue can deliver the message in your heart. Very, very important. You can speak well if your tongue can deliver the message in your heart. Further points, during your presentation, know your audience. Very, very important. I started with that, and one mistake that most public speakers always make is because they have asked and speak. They believe all other people that they are speaking to, they know nothing. Please do not underrate or underestimate your audience of what they know. I'm very sure if they give the same topic to other people here, they would do even much better. So why do you have to be, because you're on the podium, you are elevated, you now want to be the Messiah and the Omega and the whatever name? No, please do not do that. Guys, have you ever been in a room and someone comes in and they started talking and you feel like this person is too loud?
Yes, sir.
Please share your experience.
Okay. The person in question is my classmate. There was something we were supposed to work on, all three of us. And then when inside the room, while the other guy brought his own idea, and this particular person, immediately he started talking. It was like maybe he was using a loudspeaker or a microphone, something like that. And at a point, I was just so uncomfortable, and I had to like, please, can you lower your voice? You sound very high. Like, no, that's my natural voice. That's a for the purpose of this study, just try. And so that's my experience.
Now, as a public speaker, you must understand what we mean by room temperature. It's something that comes naturally. Even, I don't know how it comes. I can't explain it, but due to years of practice, it comes naturally. You know when to keep your voice low, when to speak gently. You know when to set the pace high to make it go faster. And you know when you just slow it down. And you know when you don't talk at all. And you just give space for people to what? To express themselves. It's very important for you to master your public speaking with room temperature. Very, very important. Relax, be yourself, be flexible. You might plan that this is how I'm going to do my public speaking. That is why it's very important to have worked over the years. Now, you might decide, this is how I will plan it. This is the first slide I will say. This is the second slide. This is the third slide. But you might get to the ocean and you decide not to set sail, that you just want to push it. You might decide not to swim. You just want to sit in the water and not swim. You might decide that, okay, let me use a paddle boat to do, and that is just it. So be flexible, and you too much on that. Use gestures, say less than you know in your presentation, and wrap up your speech on time. This is one of the most important points for a public speaker. Let your audience want more, rather than being bored to the level that they say, "Can we please end this program?" Do you know that kind of a feeling? Do you know that kind of a feeling that you just say, "Oh, can we just end this?"
Yeah.
So please, as to master your public speaking, give them the key points. Give them what you should say. Don't overflog matters. Don't just continue repeating the same words over and over again. You've said something in the first slide, is in the 8th slide, and you are saying it again. Move. Please move. As they always say, we move. Please move. Please move. All these are things you should do during your presentation. What about after your presentation? Don't people beat themselves? Oh no, yeah, I did not say that one. No. I missed this important point. Do not beat yourself. It takes time to be a good speaker. When I'm done here, I will remember some things I'm supposed to do or say, but that has gone. That has gone. Let me share a story of myself. I said I started public speaking at a very young age. Yes, I was in SS1, what we called year 10 now, grade 10, when I started my public speaking through impromptu speech. I was nominated as the class rep in SS1 to go and represent interclass, from interclass to inter departments in the school. My school is a very popular school. We have like over 140 in a class of 6 arms. So I started my journey, class competition, I won, interclass, I won, interdepartment, commercial arts, humanities, and all those things, I won. Then we represent the school. As good as I've been doing throughout all these stages, the day I went out for my first impromptu speech outside school, I can never forget that day. Adibi, my friend, is here. Barrister Olabiji Martins will testify to it. The topic they gave me, and I was speaking contrary, entirely different thing to the topic. You know, they should give you something like talk about the importance of education, and you're talking about transportation. And I never knew. I was just blabbing. I was just saying everything. After I'm done, I saw my friend trying to give me signs, but I wasn't paying attention. After I was done, he called me, said, Tayo, what have you done? This is what you did. This is what you said. We lost that competition. He said, wow. Yes, we lost it gallantly. And Mr. Newari, my then English teacher, gave me the hardest beating of my life. One of the few beatings I've ever experienced in my life. So after your presentation, if you don't do too well, don't beat yourself. That is why you need to record your speech and listen to yourself to areas you can get better. Are we still there? I will call names. If nobody is volunteering, I will call names. Who just came in? I think, Miss Sarah Ego, thank you. Can you please help read this?
Okay, so the next point is listening to other great speakers endlessly.
Can you please share your thoughts on that, please?
Okay. So I think this just basically means that for you to get a hang of public speaking, to be good at public speaking, you also have to listen to other public speakers. It might be people you know or people that you see as role models from a distance, and also get to listen to their recordings or read their books on public speaking and get to learn points from them so that you could better your skill of public speaking.
Thank you so very much. That's it. That's just it. You listen to great speakers. If I'm not in the mood to go for any presentation, I just go online, YouTube. I listen to people like George W. Bush, Ben Bernanke, a financial expert. I heard somebody saying he's into finance. You can check Ben Bernanke. He's a very powerful financial expert, as well as Alan Greenspan, an economist, and he talks about finance too. You listen to speakers, you listen to people that have been doing this. Nobody is perfect. You remember that great speakers are readers and people will listen. Now, I have been doing something since we started this presentation. I have been listening, yes or no? Please tell me if I've not been listening to you.
Yes, yes.
So great speakers, after reading, they also listen to others. You must listen to your audience. And there are two ways to listen to your audience. Either you hear them by word or you read their body language. That is another topic for another day. And the last point, who will help me with that? Who will help me with that? I will call names, so
Okay.
who will help me with that? Okay. Thank you, Lukman.
Find avenue, positions, opportunities, to be involved in speaking more?
Thank you very much. Find avenue, positions, opportunities to be involved in speaking more. During my introduction, I told you that I've been working with GSTI for close to 10 years on public speaking. Now, you will see that I can't recall if there's a particular day they sent a money to me, except the picture you are seeing in slide 2, where a son was present during my speech. And after the speech, he gave me a token that he has never seen somebody like this. To God be the glory. So you must find opportunities, no matter how much you read, no matter how much you prepare, no matter how much you know about public speaking, you must practice what you know. If you don't practice it, it doesn't come just like that. Some people say that I have it in my head, but where you have it in your head, but you need to practice it. He who wants to persuade should put his trust not in the right argument, but in the right words. You must know the right words to use. The power of sound has always been greater than the power of sense. The power of sound has always been greater than the power of sense. You might have the sense, but you must bring it out. You must use the words. You must record yourself to see if truly you have improved. With all this being said, can you say we have achieved our set objective for today? The next slide, please. Can you say we have achieved our set objective today? Just like the word says, if you don't know what you want to achieve in your presentation, your audience never will. Abby Diamond. Can you say you've learned something, you've gained something, and your next presentation will be better than it was before with what we have done today? Let me call names. Let's start with Lamillion. This man has gone back to food, you see? Okay, let me go to Lukman.
Okay. I can boldly say that I've achieved the set objectives, and the good thing about it is that I achieved it naturally. Like
exactly.
I don't have to cram or have to even though I jotted some of the important key points, I don't feel like I have to read it again before knowing how to practice. I feel like I have gotten to learn these things without having to cram it or without having to learn it like the way we do academically, but I've been able to understand these concepts, and I'm very optimistic that I'll be able to apply it in my subsequent.
Let me clap for you. Musa.
Yeah, in fact, I'm already imagining myself in my next presentations because the learning has been practical enough. Like you showed us, there are many things that you on your camera, you gesticulate and stuff like that, the engagement level and everything. Like I have a place, I'll be having a presentation in my second semester. It's a symposium, and I'm already imagining myself that, oh my God, I think this is how I'm going to do everything. And seriously, I've really learned a whole lot. I think this is the best time for me. In fact, it comes at a time that I really need this thing. So thanks so much for this. I really learned.
Thank you so much for learning. Let me clap for you too. Nora.
I feel very much excited because right now I really feel like I can do anything. I mean, anything at all, as long as I am consistent. So I have really achieved a lot. And by listening to this particular season, in short, it has changed a whole lot. And thank God for Dr. Jumi that gave me this advice. Like it's like it's not so like a secret, but like a little secret, and I'm venturing into it already. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much. I'm clapping for you as well. Go and create magic in your next presentation. Who have I not called? Miss Sarah Ebo, yes. even though you joined late.
Yes, apologies for joining in late. I had some things to catch up with. Well, yes, for the little time I've been around, I've learned a lot. And coincidentally, I actually needed this because I'll be having a presentation on Tuesday.
Wow.
And learned, yeah, I've learned
I
a
hope you
lot.
have prepared your slide already.
I would not be required to show slides, but yes, I've worked on my presentation material, and yeah, I'm going to practice. I'm going to do a mock presentation with myself and a friend prior to that time, so that I wouldn't be caught unawares. I would get the hang of the presentation before actually presenting. So yes, I've achieved set objective today, which is getting to learn more about presentation skills, public speaking skills. And what stood out for me was the part that you said that we should get to know our audience. It's quite that point is quite dear to me, because I can remember a presentation I did some time ago where, okay, two kinds of presentation. The first time I presented, I just spoke, I just ran through the lines, and the audience seemed quite uninterested, and I was wondering why. And after that, somebody that was listening in, a friend of mine, told me that, okay, you know what? Next time, try engaging the audience. And the person also noticed that I was really nervous. So he said that the stage fright is to speak with members of the audience as if it's a one-to-one conversation. That way it gets to calm your nerves down. So I did that the second time that I was presenting, and that really helps me. So that links back to the point that when you are speaking with the audience, when you're getting to know the audience and engaging with them, it's quite interesting when you get to see that there are some things that don't even come to your mind that they know, and they even find it better enrich the presentation you had. So even though you might go a bit off what you planned, it makes the presentation more interesting, and they won't be in a hurry to forget about it. So yes, thank you for bringing that and so many other things to my attention. I really learned a lot, even though it's in a short time. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Sarah. God bless you. Let me clap for you so that I won't be partial. All right. Our amiable doctors, your comments before we go to any question. Your comments. I won't say what have you learned, SARS and mass. You know you are doctors. So let me just ask you your comments, and and that will be all.
You know, I've actually learned a lot, because when you are talking about things to do before your presentation, I could actually see my pitfalls and some of the mistakes I made. I'm this kind of person that I'm very confident when it comes to speaking to people, especially morning and just start talking about it. But there was this particular thing that happened. I had this laptop that I was using, and to be honest, for a while the laptop has been giving me signs, but I've just been ignoring it. A day to my final presentation, an exam, the laptop just packed up. It packed up with my recent final slides, my recent correction, and everything was just in the laptop. I didn't have a backup anywhere. I remembered a day to the presentation, I started running helter-skelter, trying to find the computer specialist that can help me get my information out of the laptop. And it actually affected my presentation, because obviously I was already disorganized. In fact, I was still at the computer repair shop around 10 o'clock the night before my presentation. Wow. So you can imagine.
You're drained already.
So I was totally drained. In fact, by the time I got back home and the laptop was on, I couldn't even go through anything anymore. I just had to just sleep. And it showed a lot in my presentation the next morning. So, and that was what you said, that check everything. Make sure you check everything. Don't leave anything to 9 minutes. And that's something I actually learned from. And the presentation actually met its objective and beyond its objective. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Doctor. Dr. Yusuf, your comment before we throw it to the house for questions.
Thank you very much. In fact, this is one of the best presentations that I've actually listened to, and I've learned a lot. I wrote a lot of things down, to be honest. And, we learn every day, and I saw a lot of things I picked out from this presentation, which I'm definitely going to put into consideration when I'm going to be presenting next, because my presentation is not perfect. Obviously, no one's presentation is perfect,
No one.
and I'm still learning a yeah, I'm still learning a lot when it comes to public speaking. The only way I try to do it is just try to prepare as much as I can, and for a long time, so that when I just get there, in terms of confidence, because to be honest, I used to be the kind of person that doesn't really like speaking in public much,
I know that.
until I realized I can't run. As I realized that I can't run away from this thing, you better start learning how to present in public. Because if you are choosing this career, if you are choosing this career path, there's no way, definitely no way, that you won't be presenting in conferences, or even presenting in your office to clients, or even if it's your business, it's still presentation when
Of
you
course.
present business, business to people. So you need this in your life. So at that point, that's when I started really learning public speaking. And one part that I picked again from the last slide was that you need to put yourself in situations, positions where you present, where you practice this thing, because practice makes perfect. And the more you present, the more you speak in public, the better you get at public speaking. So it is a very important one that you just keep. It's not going to be perfect, but you just learn every time you present. There's always one thing to learn every time you present, and that's what I've learned. And the video as well, aside from the presenter's shoes, which I feel it was really nice, he presented really well. I enjoyed the story. It was structured, and that is definitely what I want to be using in my presentation, to make sure that my presentation is structured, and put humor in it as well, and engage people. Engagement is really important in presentation, in public speaking, because at the end of the day, people are influenced by your presentation if you engage them, if they feel like they are part of the presentation, rather than just presenting and say, okay, thank you very much, any questions, but instead engage them from the start, catch their attention from the very start, from your introduction, and which is what you've done today. So I really want to thank you. Your public speaking presentation has really impacted a lot, and I believe that it will help me in my next presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Slide, we'll be having questions. Questions, please, no add questions. Please, pretty please, no add questions.
Okay, my question is, how do you approach, or how do you confront a situation where they're asking you a question and you have answer to that question? You don't know what to say to that question.
When you don't know a question, simply say you don't know. You get back to them. There is nobody that is an island of knowledge. You don't know is you don't know. If you try to say something that is shit, part of the audience will tell you that you're saying shit, and it will affect everything you have been saying from the beginning. The most annoying thing is that the person even asking the question might even know the answer, just looking for pitfalls. So when you have a question that you don't know the answer, simply say, I'm sorry, the answer to that is not available now. I'll get back to you. You can give them your social media that they can liaise with that to get the answers to their question. That is better than saying junks.
Thank you, because the reason why I asked is that many of us fall into I myself have fell into that pitfall before, where we don't understand that it's actually okay to say you don't know. And it was it was in an interview I went for, I think some 6 years ago, where they asked me a question. I would just have said I don't know. I started rambling and saying rubbish, and then the person I was talking to said, "Just say you don't know. Just say you don't know. There's no crime in saying you don't know." And it just made me look so embarrassed, and so I felt so washed down. So sometimes it's just good to accept and just say you don't know. Thank you for that.
It's very simple. Thank you so much for that. Any other person? Questions, please.
Okay. I have a question. Oh, okay. Who is going next? Sorry.
Okay. My question is, how do you treat critics as a public speaker?
I will talk from my own personal experience. As you can see my video, I have a kind of a protruding teeth, right? Let me show you again, if you have not noticed. I remember my first public speaker. I'm now fine now. I'm now fine. I was very, very ugly before. So you can see, right? Yes. Many people abuse me because of that. Once I grab the mic, the next thing they do is to abuse me about my teeth. That's what they do. But I don't care. What is in you is more than what they see. And it is normal for you to have critics. If some people have not criticized me, I won't be where I am today. I won't work on myself. So enjoy those critics. In short, let them bring it. They should bring it on, because it's those critics that will make you what? Fire on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. My question.
Does that answer your question, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So my question is that, okay, we've had a lot of speakers on Daytopia, we've been hosting sessions for a while now. And one thing I've noticed is that they ask about, the audience. So they ask, the age, they ask what sort of people am I expecting to speak to. I just want you to really touch on that again, that what exactly what exactly do you need that information for? I understand the fact that you need to know your audience, but
okay,
if you can touch on it, like specific information about your audience, and if you don't get those information, how do you still go about it?
Thank you so very much. I myself would have asked that same question. I have not been in the Daytopia section before. It's just a part of the tools needed for a public to grade 2 or grade 3 on evaporation in primary school. I remember when I was in grade 3 or grade 4, my teacher taught me evaporation as the disappearance of water, and that's where she stopped. When I got to the college, my teacher improved on it. So the age grade is important to know how the speaker will going to take the point from. If I want to talk to the secondary school student on the issue of public speaking, it will be different from what I've said now. And if I want to talk to professors on public speaking, it will be different from how I have structured my slides and my presentation. So it is very important for public speakers to get that information so that they won't be talking to people and they will, does he think we are babies here? Why is he saying all this? Come on. Very, very important. Another aspect of it is that knowing the type of people, the profession, just like Dr. Jumi had said earlier, she went to a training whereby the person was talking about public speaking and was using all the accounting jargons, which she is not conversant with. But if I had been in that training, I so much love the fact that the man is using those jargons. So it's very important for a public speaker to know so that he can tone down his language to suit his audience so that he can achieve the objective of that public speaking. So that is my own view of this. There might be other reasons, but that is what I do.
Okay, great, great. That's true. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Any other question?
Yeah,
I'm going to be picking this from Dewale's point of view and perspective. Are there any tips for someone who is trying to build their self-confidence, their confidence overall, standing in front of a large crowd and speaking to people? Are there any tips to building that confidence?
All right, I would have said a lot about that, but being the fact that to the fact that I have seen people present on Daytopia here, I know that the issue of self-confidence is noli secundos, which means it's second to none. So the thing is that for you to build self-confidence, you practice. You fumble, you rumble, you get up. You go to a seminar today, you say rubbish, you play your record yourself. Before I forget, Dr. Jumi and Dr. Yusuf, this video or this presentation, please send to me after this because I need to assess myself. That's one of the ways to build your self-confidence. And one thing that comes naturally to a natural public speaker, when you drive home your points, you will feel that inner joy that you have achieved something. And once you achieve that something, it gives you confidence for your next presentation. I don't need to be proud, but with what we have done here today, I'm confident that I have achieved the objective that is for you to create magic in your next presentation. So I will take that confidence that if I can do this before, I will do it again. Next week, I'm having another presentation. The confidence of today, I will take it to that. If I make a mess of that presentation, I will correct myself. If I do well, I'll take the confidence to the next presentation, on and on like that. So there is no, some people will say, use a gesture, stand erect, stand in one position. Some will say, move around the stage. All these things, there is no, the only way to heaven is Jesus. So any other way to get other things, I beg, you can use any other way as far as you achieve your results. That's my own principle. Thank you so much.
thank you very much. Any other questions? Okay. I want to once again thank you, Mr. Adetayo Adebowale.
Please, you need to show my thank you slide. Please show my thank you slide because I need to thank my audience for listening. It's not easy to listen to somebody talking for over 1 hour. So for listening to me, thank you so very much. Let me mention their names. Laminion, thank you for listening. Musa, Nora, Sarah, Dr. Yusuf, Dr. Jumi, somebody had left, I don't know. So thank you so very much for listening to me.
Thank you so much for coming here today, and thank you for this powerful session. To be honest, I really enjoyed it, and I learned a great deal from it. So I want to thank you very much again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much.
All right. In the absence of any questions, I would like to end today's session. Thank you very much for coming, and don't forget, if you can, always try to come into the sessions, because we always try to bring powerful sessions like this every week. And we have very important announcement actually. One of our great Daytopia members, Nora, she has just published a book, and officially she has asked Daytopia to help her with the launch of the book, which is very exciting. I love new authors. So next week Saturday, we are hoping that we'll be able to launch this interesting book. She sent it to me, and I've had a read, and it's very, very interesting with the forward I've just read, the preface. So you guys should please ensure that you are here again next week so that we can help Nora launch her book. I hope it will be a very interesting one. We'll have Nora read some part of the book to us, and bring your wallets as well so that we can help a fellow member, and we can all read this interesting book together. Congratulations, Nora, and hopefully we'll be launching your book as the newest author next weekend. Anything you have to say?
Congratulations, Nora. Congrats.
Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone. I also built my self-confidence using this platform, and it's been a very good and great moment for me. I want to say thank you also for accepting to launch the book for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nora.
Okay, sorry, before we go, I just wanted to quickly make this announcement before I forget. We're going to be having like a feedback session whereby we'll be inviting some mentees and some mentors. It's like an interview session whereby we'll be asking people for their feedback so far, what they've learned, and all sorts. And like Adewale said, there'll also be another session whereby I would invite people, and we will invite mentees, and then ask them where was their next step, what's their next platform, what are their plans, their future goals, their career goals, and all that, and how they are doing generally. But yeah, we'll be having the first session, which is the feedback session, whereby we can all know that everyone is getting the best from the platform. Everyone is utilizing the platform as much as they can. There are lots of things that you guys don't even know that we're doing, and I believe that this feedback session will make you understand what other aspects of Daytopia that you can benefit from. Thank you.
Yes, very true. Thank you very much, Dr. Jimmy, for informing us. Yes, should get in touch and let you know the times and how you can book sessions, and basically check the calendar, see who is present, having interviews, and all sorts. So thank you very much for this session anyway. Thank you once again, thank you once again, Dr. Adejumoke and Mr. Adetayo. Thank you everyone, and Nora, congratulations once again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks everyone for coming. Please try as much as possible. Daytopia time is always a fun time to learn and just develop yourself. So just try as much as possible to put this little time into your schedule for the weekend. So thank you very much for today again. So I'll see you guys next week, where we'll be honoring the latest author, latest author Nora, and we'll be launching our book next Saturday. So thank you very much, everyone. See you next week.
Thank you very much, Julius. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Have a nice day.